It was a nice Thanksgiving today. We warmed up into the 50s, a great day for some turkey trots and backyard football. And now all eyes are on Denver's first possible snow of the season. Thanks for joining us. I'm Jennifer Meckles. The Metro could finally get some snow this weekend, so let's get right over to Chief Meteorologist Kathy Sabin. We have been waiting and waiting.
We have.
Maybe it's finally coming.
We've had multiple opportunities. We're past the date of the average first snowfall. That was back in mid-October. Here comes the storm with an Arctic front and enough moisture that we should see snow. Now, it won't be a big snowstorm for Denver, but we don't need much for it to count. Temperatures today were warm, as you mentioned, in the 50s and still comfortable out there. We're above freezing at 35 degrees here in the studios. But the changes come starting tomorrow night. Matter of fact, about 24 hours from now. We have cold and snow first in the mountains, then in the metro area. And we have two waves of snow coming in with the best chance for light accumulation overnight Friday into Saturday morning. The second wave Saturday into Sunday. And that, of course, would create some potential travel impacts, especially on I-70 for those of you that want to get up and go skiing. And why not? Happy to report that the winds are coming down just a little bit, extremely gusty over the higher passes. The next system still waiting, so off in the wings, coming our way from the northwest. So tomorrow will be windy and warm, the warmest day of the week. Mountain snow develops late in the day. Rain for Denver around 10:30, 11 o'clock, flipping to snow overnight. A weather impact alert through midday on Saturday because of the potential for that light snow. And then we get another shot at it Saturday night into Sunday. We do have light accumulation in the forecast. All we need is a tenth of an inch or a trace. And I'm saying there's a chance. Jenny, coming up, the timing and impact, much more on your weekend forecast in just a bit.
Thank you, Kathy. 4 people cannot go back to their home apartments tonight after a fire in Arvada. Arvada Fire says it started in an apartment near 64th and Oak Street. Firefighters say a total of 4 people living between 2 units are affected. 4 other apartments were also impacted. They are still habitable. People can go home there. Investigators are still working to figure out how this fire started. We continue to follow a 5-car fatal crash last night on I-25 that killed Colorado Democratic State Senator Faith Winter. 3 others were injured. That crash happened last night around 6:30 in the northbound lanes of I-25 at Dry Creek. The Arapahoe County Sheriff's Office has not released very many details yet. We do not know what caused the crash or anything about the other people who were injured. The northbound lanes were shut down for hours. Senator Winter was a longtime Colorado legislator. Her district covered Broomfield, Adams, Weld counties. In a statement, her family honored not just her public service, but her role as a loving mother, a partner, and a friend. 9 News anchor and political reporter Kyle Clark shares more on Winter's life and legacy.
Colorado politics is filled with elected leaders, particularly women, encouraged to run for office by Faith Winter. Winter did that long before she ran for the state legislature herself in 2014. Working as an environmental advocate and political organizer for years before stepping into the spotlight to win a House seat, then flip a Republican-held Senate seat representing Westminster. Progressives admired that Winter won a swing seat while holding on to her liberal positions on climate, abortion rights, and paid family leave. She was a mother of 2. Democratic Governor Jared Polis said Colorado is shaken by Winter's death, calling her a fierce advocate he'd known for 20 years. In 2018, Winter led a movement to root out sexual harassment at the Capitol, the first of 5 women to come forward with allegations that led to the first expulsion of a state legislator in a century. Democratic House Speaker Julie McCluskey said her bravery brought necessary reforms to the Capitol, and her kindness filled the building. As Winter's profile in state politics grew, so did her public struggles with alcohol, leading to an ethics reprimand in 2024. And in early 2025, her apology on the Senate floor. Winter acknowledged that her choices and behavior had harmed the institution and her colleagues. Upon the news of her death, her colleagues focused on her decades of encouragement to others to step into politics and to make change in Colorado. Broomfield City Councilwoman Heidi Henkel said she was heartbroken at the loss of her mentor, and Democratic State Senator Chris Kolker said he fell to his knees as he learned of Winter's death, writing, "You gave me courage and believed in me." State Senator Faith Winter was 45 years old.
And we are hearing more tonight from the people who knew Senator Winter. She represented again the Broomfield-Adams-Weld County area, was entering her final year in office in the state Senate because of term limits. And colleagues remembered her tireless advocacy work on reproductive rights and the environment. And again, her mentorship to others in public office.
A lot of people don't think that people who run for office or, our elected officials are humans. And she really put that humanity behind the policy.
Learning that you have lost a friend and a mentor and an ally is never easy. Finding out the day before Thanksgiving, a day that she would have had to spend with her family, is exceptionally hard.
That family again includes 2 of Winter's children. She had 2 children. She was 45 years old. Denver police are investigating another deadly crash on a section of I-25. That one happened on southbound 25 in Yale just before 1 o'clock this afternoon. Denver police say a fuel tanker was the only car involved. They said a crash led to a large fuel spill, and they're still trying to figure out how the wreck happened. I-25 and Yale were closed for several hours while crews investigated. It has since reopened. Colorado State Patrol says an enforcement campaign they ran yesterday along I-25 and C-470 led to nearly 70 traffic stops. The operation was in honor of fallen trooper Cody Donahue, who was hit and killed by a passing car while investigating a crash 9 years ago this week. CSP says troopers made 14 distracted driving stops, issued 11 other citations, and made 4 DUI arrests. The operation highlights the state's move over law, which requires drivers to move over for all stopped vehicles with their hazards on. First responders, yes, but also tow trucks and even passenger cars. If you can't get over, you have to slow down by at least 20 miles an hour. Hard to remember your first ever Thanksgiving, right? Most of us, we just grew up with it. But 3 students at CU Boulder are still learning American traditions, and they went looking for somewhere to celebrate and somebody with for their very first Thanksgiving meal. 9 News reporter Janelle Finch shows us the family that made their dream a reality today.
Jacob, Axel, and Tim say after experiencing their first Thanksgiving, they have new traditions to bring back to Sweden.
Going to continue mashing the potatoes, yep.
On Thanksgiving, what's for dinner isn't the hard question.
So the stuffing is in, the green bean casserole is in.
But in Julie Dye's house, who's coming to dinner has a different answer every year.
Like now more than ever is a really important time to open your table to strangers who are now friends, and now we have places to go in Sweden.
Julie is adding extra seats at her table.
It's so kind of Julie and the whole family to host us.
3 of them for CU Boulder Swedish exchange students.
Yeah.
Jacob says he went to Facebook to find a potential Thanksgiving host for himself and 2 classmates.
We're only here for the semester, and one big part of American culture is Thanksgiving. So we felt like we wanted to celebrate it and just experience it.
He says the response was overwhelming, but they chose Julie.
It's really exciting for us
to teach them the traditions.
Super lucky to be here.
All of them.
It's really it's a strange thing to explain. On Thanksgiving Day, you watch a parade and you watch a dog show, and you really feel strongly about it. But that's the reality.
Some of the American way is easier to get behind.
I had never heard about this before. Have you guys? No.
But Jacob is still warming up to other aspects.
You don't put marshmallows on food in Sweden, usually.
This is a very controversial thing right now, these marshmallows.
We have to taste it first. But
I'm not so sure.
The food might look different. The faces at the table, too.
Here comes the turkey.
But there's no question the meaning of Thanksgiving has no language barrier.
Just a time for families to come together, and it's nice to have a tradition where everyone meets and eats.
And these students already knew the tradition of not coming empty-handed to Thanksgiving. The 3 boys brought their own dish to Julie's table, Swedish meatballs. Janelle Finch, 9 News.